This is a prove-it game for Jalen Milroe. This game last year was a measuring stick for Jalen, whether that was fair or unfair. And to a lot of Alabama fans, that was strike one. Texas this year was strike two. And this could be strike three in their eyes. Now, Jalen has improved, but to me, kind of feels like he still has training wheels on. It's time to take the training wheels off, and he needs to have that moment, kind of like what Blake Sims had against Florida in 2014, where he just erupted. He was hitting things over the top, and he goes out and sets records. Guys, can he have that? I feel like it's time. Is it time that Jalen Milroe take those training wheels off in order for Alabama to ascend to another title run?
That ties into this is a huge game for Tommy Rees in terms of that creativity. It starts with him also. Milroe's success is big, but it starts with Tommy Rees. How creative can you get in your bag? Because the bigger the game, when Lane Kiffin was at Alabama, the bigger Lane Kiffin was in his bag. The bigger the game, Steve Sarkisian was deep in that bag as an OC. What can I draw up? What matchups can I create? What mismatches can I find? How can I get my best player on their worst player and create easy throws, easy rhythm here for my quarterback in question, whether it was Blake, Coker, Hurts, Tua, whoever the quarterback was. So it's the same thing here with Tommy Rees. Got Jalen Milroe and Kyle Field. How can I create my guys some easy throws? How can I get some motion involved here? How can I get them settled into the game early and often? So, yes, it's a big game for Milroe, but at 30 years old, Tommy Rees, here's your welcome to the world, son. Where is your creativity here and making this easy for Milroe? So the success here is intertwined, in my opinion.
I think that Jalen Milroe, he got to be in an uncomfortable situation to be comfortable. And this is going to be one of them games that he's going to be uncomfortable in and going to have to make decisive decisions. And he's going to have to be smart with the ball as well, because any turnover can give the opposing team the momentum and, flip the field. But one thing that Jalen Milroe have to do, I think, is manage the game and keep the ball alive and keep moving the ball up and down the field. And like Steven just said, that Reese gonna have to be in his bigger bag with plays that we haven't seen and try to get mismatched on the defense that they haven't seen and get our best players open like Isaiah Bond and let Jason McCullough run the ball like he did against Mississippi State. That's my take on it. Jalen Milroe gonna have to manage the game and he gonna have to be uncomfortable being comfortable.
The performance that we got from Milroe last week against Mississippi State, if we get that same performance this week against A&M, we're in trouble. That cannot happen, because if you play like you played last week, you look at his completion percentage. Look how many yards he passed for. It was 100 and something yards. You cannot do that against a great defense, because the moment they know you can't throw the ball, I've already told you what's going to happen. So Milroe is going to have to play his best game. Last year against Texas A&M, it was his first start. It was new. Texas A&M didn't know what to expect. It could go either way. Now that they know and they've seen his body of work, Milroe is going to have to show improve. Last week's performance will not cut it. Tommy Rees, this is your opportunity to, in fact, create matchups for Milroe to be successful. Put him in 2nd and 1, 2nd and 2. If you're always in 2nd and long or 3rd and long, the playbook changes. When that playbook changes for a quarterback who doesn't have long to throw because the offensive line, it keeps the heat on him from not blocking, it's a recipe for disaster. So his success is tied to Tommy Rees and that offensive line. So I pray to God all three of those are well prepared and ready for Saturday.
I'm right behind you guys with all these assessments. One thing I do want to point out, and we said it, but we really didn't understand the significance of it. Milroe's first actual start was against Texas A&M last season. And he came in with a playbook that he was clearly lost in from first snap to the end of the game. And the plays he made were plays because of his athleticism. You don't see that quarterback leaving Ole Miss game. You don't see that quarterback leaving Mississippi State game. Even with the play calling style in the second half, you could see him calming down and trusting protection, buying time to make plays downfield with his arm. And that's confidence to me. I know you're a defensive guy. You want to see it on point right there, then and there. But in this game, with the amount of weapons he has to work with, You want to shore up that offensive line and his ability to start trusting that protection. So in a game like this against A&M, when he goes and he's not second guessing his throws, it looks like he's not second guessing his throws. You're not questioning him with the play caller when it comes to the pass pro, the scheme of the pass game. And another thing you guys highlighted is creativity involving Milroe. I think the creativity in the pass, like you said, Marvin, in the run game, it doesn't necessarily have to involve pre-snap movement. I think the quick behind the line of scrimmage pass game is going to definitely be key, but not just for the wide receivers. We need to scheme these running backs in one-on-one situations with safeties, linebackers, things of that nature to open up the pass game more.
All that's fine and cool. But the moment you start teeing off on a quarterback, you see his whole, when those eyes start getting big and he know y'all coming, you don't understand. That's when defenses know we got you at that point. I'm telling you. So you hit a quarterback 2-3 good times. His first thought process is A, I'm getting rid of this ball, or B, I'm getting the hell out this damn pocket. And it changes everything. And all it takes is 2-3 good hits. And I'm telling you from experience, the moment we start teeing off on quarterbacks, we knew we had their ass.
I've never been somebody that believes in prove-it games. I just kind of believe every game has a life of its own. But I will say that I believe, especially in this game, it's really important for him to stay on schedule. Being able to understand when the journey's over, as we like to say, knowing when the play's over, get rid of the ball. If you have to get down, not trying to be a hero. But I don't really worry too much about him as far as like mentally up here, especially in this environment, because when you play in these loud environments, there's no time to think. You can barely hear your own thoughts. Everything's about knowing what to do, get the play, let's get ready, let's get on schedule. And then maybe it might matter to him, it might not, but he's from about an hour away from College Station. Like, he's back in his hometown. First start in Texas A&M Stadium. He's going to have probably a lot of family there, a lot of added motivation. So I'm sure he's preparing like he always does, but there's a little bit extra incentive for him to perform as well as he can.